when you say free speech absolutist, there's a part of me that's like, yeah, of course, free speech, First Amendment, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But in China, there's no free speech in China.
Sure.
They're one of the most censored countries in the world. They're one of the least free societies in the world. You know, ByteDance, I believe, owns TikTok, and, you know, they're obviously talking about this sale. So how do you sort of grapple with the fact of free speech absolutist when there's zero American social media companies allowed in China, zero, yet we're just going to allow Russian propaganda here or Chinese propaganda to take over and indoctrinate American youth? I don't understand
What would you want,
this.
though? What would you want?
To me, this is like, other than, maybe here's this question. Free speech absolutist, great. That's for Americans. This is not a company owned by China. I don't really hear arguments saying why we should keep TikTok. The only arguments I hear are, well, they do help small businesses make money. Okay. So, you know, JFK was ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Sorry, small businesses, you're going to have to maybe move over to Instagram or YouTube
Adam,
or anything else.
What would you like to see happen?
I would like to see it banned.
You would like to see it banned in the States?
Yeah, or sold,
Okay.
or just get the CCP out of our country. That's what I'm asking.
You know what I would be curious about, and I'd be curious to know what you think, because by the way, I rarely say this. Very good question you asked. So I just want to make sure,
Pat,
guys, can you clip this for Adam and put it there, because this was
right
a good
there,
question.
Guys.
But I will say this part for you to see what you're going to say about this. So to me, if I'm Trump, one of the leverages I'm using is the following thing. And by the way, you know who will be behind this? Zuck, Musk, Google, everybody will be behind this. What if he negotiates, and I don't even know if this could happen or not because of how they're wired. DeepSeek is now available in America, right? That was designed where? In China. No problem. What if Trump says it's banned? All your stuff moving forward is banned in the States until you allow Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter, all of that to be available in China. Could Trump put that kind of a sanction in place that none of your businesses can do business in America until you let all of our social media companies in your country?
So I'd love for him to try to do that. I don't think there's a chance in hell that China agrees to it, because it would mean, in part, the end of communism. I think they would so fear free speech, people expressing their opinions, that Xi Jinping would be in real trouble.
Why should we care?
No, let's push for it. I'm saying, though, what could we realistically get? Here's one thing I think Trump could realistically get in the exchange. And I'm all for him trying to push to get social media in. But how about, while we're talking about banning TikTok, the same week what news came out, China's got a $1 trillion trade surplus with the United States. And as you know, because you know business well, that's made up with a capital account surplus. So basically, our manufacturers get hit. All our shipbuilding, steel, et cetera, goes to China. They put in the money to Wall Street. Wall Street does fine, but the working and middle class have been suffering. Donald Trump should say, I want to, by the end of my term, try to get that trade surplus down to zero. Let's have a trade balance. And he should say, if I'm going to allow TikTok, you got to start buying our steel or buying our products or stop selling us the amount you are, so that we actually get that trade balance down.
Yeah, I would love to see. And by the way, this is the email wrap that we were talking about. Is this the email?
Yes.
Rokana to VJ. But this seems like a violation of the First Amendment principles. If there's a hack of classified information, of other information that could expose a serious war crime, at the New York Times was to publish it. I think the New York Times should have that right. A journalist should not be held accountable for the illegal actions of the source unless they actively aided the hack. So to restrict the distribution of that material, especially regarding a presidential candidate, seems not in the keeping of the principles of New York Times versus Sullivan. I say this is a total Biden partisan and convinced he didn't do anything wrong, but the story now has become more about censorship than relatively innocuous emails, and it's become a bigger deal than it would have been. It is also leading to serious efforts to curtail Section 230, many of which would have been a mistake. I believe Twitter itself should curtail what it recommends to or puts in trending news, and your policy against QAnon groups. It's all good. It's a hard balance. But in the heat of presidential campaign, restricting the dissemination of newspaper articles, even if New York Post is far right, seems like it will invite more backlash than it'll do good. Vinny, you seem like you want to say something.
Well, bro, so you saying that, I say this as a total bipartisan and convinced he didn't do anything wrong. After all the stuff that we've seen with all the leaks of everything on the Biden laptop, Hunter's laptop, do you change that that idea? Because from what we saw with
Well,
his
I'm not
relationship,
convinced. Yeah, I mean, I think it's, let's see, and there's
It's horrible. Like,
there are certainly questions, but I was there.
At that
I was
moment.
just pointing. At the time, I said I didn't think he did anything wrong, but I think that was besides the point. I mean, it's a lot of legalese there because I was writing to a lawyer, but basically, I was saying you can't take a New York Post story down about a presidential candidate.
Well, no, I agree with that 100%. What I'm saying is now, 2025, he's gone. He's pardoned him. He's basically, everybody's scot-free. The whole crime family is good. You were technically wrong because all the stuff that we did find out that he was working with China, he was doing a bunch of nefarious stuff, and the stuff that we've heard, I've heard and seen some stuff that was on that laptop. If that was released, that would have, what was the percentage, Pat, of how many people wouldn't have voted? People that wouldn't have voted, 67% would have changed their vote if they had known.
It wasn't 67%. I think it was, to be exact, it was 67% of independents would have considered voting the other way, or the word was 67%. This would have influenced the decision, not voted the other way. So I don't want to, because that's a massive number. There was something about that, but I'm with it. We raised $108,000. We send the money already to California. We've sent, I think, 6 families $5,000 apiece that me and Vinny individually called, FaceTimed, and we spoke to them. The stories are, I wish we raised $50 million to send the money out there, but we only did $108,000 of sale that they would merge. We are still calling families. If you have anybody that's gone through something, send me directly a Manek with your phone number and their phone number. Tell me as much detail as possible. We're FaceTiming people and just let them know that we're sending money over their way. And then the money is getting sent out. Once we give the details to the individuals, money gets sent out to their account. You can connect any one of us. You send it to Adam, to Vinny, to me, to Tom. It's going to end up coming back to me anyway. So whatever guys that you send this to, they'll send it to me. We'll make the phone calls. I think today's the last day we're doing it to send the money out to the folks in California. They're still going through it. That's one. Make sure you do that. Number 2 is on the cigar lounge that a lot of you guys have been wanting to be a member of. We have had our manager now there for the last, I think, 90 days or so. The place is looking amazing. We're going to launch it in the month of March, but you know it's a private cigar line. So for those of you that are in South Florida and you want to find out how to become a member, text the word cigar to 310-340-1132. Again, text the word cigar to 310-340-1132. One of our representatives will get a hold of you in the month of February to tell you all about it, but make sure you text the word cigar to 310-340-1132. We're opening up the comedy club, the cigar lounge, to 2 bars. We got the liquor license. We got the whole thing. We'll be opening up here soon. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.